But anyway, I'm gonna share my screen. Don't mind the porn. Today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is gender roles in relationships. By me. What are gender roles? Could somebody read that for me?
Gender roles is a society means how we're expected to act, speak, dress, groom, and conduct ourselves based upon an assigned sex. For example, girls and women are generally expected to dress in typically feminine ways and be polite, accommodating, and nurturing.
Okay. What that means is that's kind of goes back to the days of chivalry, knighthood, and we used to say home training. Mm-hmm. When somebody didn't act in a certain way, we looked at they ain't had no home training. Girls were taught how to wear dresses, how to wear heels. You didn't teach your boys that. You taught your boys how to tie a tie their shoes, pull your pants up. All of that was taught. Those were the gender roles we were assigned. Sugar and spice and everything nice. And what are boys? Snips, nails, and puppy dog tails. It had a function back about 150 years ago, but now the roles have changed with technology and how we do things. Gender role falls into three types. Traditional. This is what the Republicans are talking about. Traditional, the way they're supposed to be. Women in the house, men going to make. But what they don't count for is, especially today, does anybody know what the average Black man makes?
Still not enough. I'm joking. I said that because
they said what, 47 to 52,000?
40, about $41,000. About $41,000. Now, if you have a wife and she don't work, you can live off $41,000 in certain places, but that's not enough to live comfortably. So the woman has to work, unless you're making $200,000-$300,000. The woman's going to have to work in order for you to have a decent, comfortable life for you and your kids. Now, like I said, you can do things that get to where you want to go, but you really, traditional's kind of in modern times played out until we can actually get a real economy where people can actually make money. Transitional is what we're doing more now. Men don't mind women that work. As a matter of fact, if you want extra stuff, a man can pay for the basics, but if you want extra stuff, your wife got to work. She got to go outside. It ain't got to be a big job, just a job. And as long as the kids are being taken care of and they ain't running snot nose, it's okay. Egalitarian, the best person for the job. I was talking about that earlier. Whoever can do, if I can cook better than my lady, I'm cooking. If she manages financials better than me, she got the finances, and so on. So that way is an equitable distribution of labor, and it's performed by you're working with your strengths and minimizing your weaknesses. These are the typical gender stereotypes that we cover. Now, I'm gonna tell you, ladies, men want some assertiveness from women, especially in the bedroom. Well, we don't want aggressiveness. How many of you guys put a 1 in the chat box if you like aggression? Put a 0 if you don't like aggression from a woman, but assertiveness, yes.
And what do you mean by aggressiveness? I mean, because I know last time we talked about tying up and all that other good stuff.
No. I'm talking about like New York, like it was in New York.
Okay.
You said it was like New York, like we have to tell our niece, you need to calm down because she's mad aggressive.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm saying. Normal guys don't like that. Because they think you're trying to outdo the dude. And women don't like passive men for the most part.
Yeah, I don't.
For the most part. If you like a passive man, ladies, put a 1 in the chat box. Put a 0 if you don't like a passive man.
0.
More zeros than Jeff Bezos' bank account. Okay. Independent. Notice what side independence is on. Because no man don't want to deal with no independent woman. A self-sufficient woman, yes. Independent, no. Because they say they don't need nobody, but yet they still want our protection.
Right.
They still want our provision.
They still want you to be the man, but then they don't want to say, I need you.
And they don't want to listen to you.
Yeah.
Because realistically, and I know a lot of y'all got daughters, a lot of y'all ladies got daughters. How much can you really tell them without wanting to punch them in the face?
Not much.
Yeah, exactly. So, women don't like to be told stuff. So that's why, it's like I said, guys we can't get at you like we can get at other guys. Because I used to tell my son, I will punch you in the face, and they knew I meant it. If I had a daughter and I said that to her, I'd be in jail.
Right. See, us women could say that. I can tell my child I'm gonna chop in the throat, and I could tell my son I could chop him in the throat. But for my husband, my ex-husband, to say to my daughter, I'm gonna chop you in the throat, that's just not cool.
Exactly. Now the
You're like, wait, why isn't that cool? There's your reason.
Say that again.
I was like, why is that not cool? But then I'm saying, and there's the reason.
Because, well, 1911, I'm gonna tell you why. Because
I know why. I was just stating that, because men and women do it differently. Oh, next point.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk to our daughters differently than we do our sons anyway.
Yeah, my son is on there now.
We're gonna talk to our daughters differently because we know our strength. We know, for the most part, our son get a certain age, you won't have to hit him with 3/4 strength. You can't do that with your daughter.
No, you can't.
Because you're gonna put her in a hospital, and then you be in silver bracelets and the whole 9, and we don't need that.
Right.
We need all the black men we can out of jail.
Amen.
Another thing that's been kind of switched. Feminine, you're supposed to be sensitive to other feelings. Empathy. A lot of modern women do not have empathy. Because y'all let your friends go out any kind of way. You know why? Because
jealous.
Not jealous, but you look, because you say they'll look at them and pity them and they'll get with me.
That's called jealousy. If you call yourself a friend, you will not allow your friend to go out there and look like just any old thing. But if you just associate with that person, you don't care, or you feel that person is probably competition,
right?
You're gonna let them go out there and look like any kind of thing. That's called jealousy.
And men, we had to become more sensitive to women's feelings, because the way men talk to men, we just gonna be direct. You talk direct to most women, and they're gonna look at you like, the waterworks start.
Yeah,
come on now.
Conversation, yes, and that's
so we had to learn to be more sensitive.
Right. It's gonna be a more deep
with security, y'all, and it goes back to why do you think man invented air conditioning?
So we can stay inside.
Because the woman said she was hot.
Right.
Dudes, I mean, it's not every guy, and I'll say that again, it's not every guy, it's not every gal, but guys can live with Why you think in the 20s, guys be having milk crates, they TV on a milk crate, and they sleeping on an air mattress, and they cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But when they bring a woman home and she
Mm-mm.
look at that, she's like, no, I ain't staying on that.
Mm-mm.
They had a meme where they were saying that if you came to a man's house and he had the milk crate or the TV on the milk crate and the air mattress, what would you do if you seen that? And a lot of women was like, turn around, go back, or what have you. It like you said, it is a gender role thing. If you are confident in your relationship, it might be that's what that man likes, or maybe you just want to spend more time at your house, or maybe you can help him decorate. But it all depends on your role in that relationship.
And when Justin graduated in 2008, I took him and Javon out, just had a man-to-man talk. And I told them both, I said, look, you cannot be a finished product because women always want to improve one thing on you. So you might have to play dumb, but women always want to work on a man. And women verbalize, men analyze.
Right.
That's why we can't, that's why men do cost benefit ratios.
Right.
If the cost is too much, we're gonna step back. I mean, I said this a couple of weeks ago. We enjoy the ability to pay bills and not have to worry about that. Y'all, not so much. Y'all like spending, but you rather spend on stuff that you want, not what you need. If that makes sense, if I'm making sense. Because y'all want to pay all the bills.
We may not necessarily like to pay bills, but we will pay them.
Yes.
It's just we don't like to. But
exactly.
and not all of us will go for what we want as opposed to what we need. We're gonna pay for what we need first. And then
that's not always true, Dr. Lark. I've seen it.
Hey, I'm gonna pay for what I need first.
I don't like to pay bills, but it's a necessary part of being an adult.
Exactly.
And men, we don't complain about it as much as women that are independent. I got to do everything. That's the lane you chose to drive in. But I just want to say one thing that will bring up issues between males and females, and that on the female side, you have submissive, and opposite of that is dominant. And that's not what that means in a relationship, but this is what society is geared toward. That submissive is the opposite of dominant. So
and yeah, I look at, submissive is a trigger word. I look at, can a woman cooperate with a man? Can they listen to what the man has to say and say what the man needs to hear, not what they think the man needs to hear? Okay. Because it comes back to men want peace.
Right.
I might not always have the right answer, but you ain't got to say, you can't do shit right.
But that's what I'm saying. When this word is said, it's the opposite of being dominant. And that means a lot of times it seems to mean I'm taking up a lesser or less valuable position. And that's just not the case. No. And we have to do, and every time you hear it on TV or whatever, what was the old commercial? The dude came home from work. Sarah, where's my dinner? You need to submit to me. But that's the societal view, and that's the prevailing definition and situationship that word conveys. But for us, it simply means peace. And this leads into the other thing where women say, I'll submit if he leads properly.
Huh?
I'm not going in 1911. We'll be here another 3 hours. We don't need that.
But I'm saying that's what modern day women state.
But Rasheba stated that earlier, and y'all agreed with her about the submissive and the dominant.
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, I prefer cooperative.
I prefer cooperative as well.
I prefer cooperative because we're supposed to submit to our deity. We cooperate with each other.
Correct.
Because we can grow, we grow in two directions. We either grow together or we grow apart. The more we cooperate, the closer we grow together.
Right.
That's just how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Not conforming to authority. But that's
yes. I like the way you say it.
They did
a different side note that early on in the 50s and stuff, pink was for boys.
Yeah, but here they were looking at in a household who was primarily responsible for each of the chores. Now, when you look at it, it goes back to what we don't really practice what we preach. We say we want egalitarian, but both men and women look at that stuff and say, I'm either handling it or mostly handling it. And if you look at the charts, meal preparation and planning, mostly women. Deciding where to grocery shop, mostly women.
Well, I think when it comes to that is because of even today's society. You actually kind of touched on it a little earlier, but even today's society, a lot of men were not taught to cook, was not taught to clean, was not taught to go to the grocery store. So, but women were taught that. Females were taught that when they grew up because they went with their mother, they sat in the kitchen with their mothers or their grandmother and stuff like that. But when you touched on it earlier, you and I and all of my siblings and most of our cousins that are on here, we were raised equally. Everybody was in the kitchen. Everybody knew how to cook. Everybody knew how to clean. It was an equal situation. It wasn't who's going to take out the garbage or who's going to wash the dishes. Everybody had chores, but it's not like that. Even before and now, it's still not like that where they train the men to do that. So that the meal preparation and the deciding where the groceries is not as common, and it still isn't common for them to do that.
Right. Because a dude will go into a grocery store, if he's single, he's coming out with less than $50 worth of stuff.
Right. And all the food or ready to eat stuff. Right. Versus a woman, she'll come out with $100 worth of stuff and have a great healthy meal.
I'm saying the top four all falls up under one thing, because if you're going to do the cooking, you have to plan the meals, so you need to know what you're going to decide when doing your grocery shopping and at what store you want to shop at. And so in my house, that's all pink.
But you have a point. And
my future house, it'll be all pink.
Your future house, okay.
Right. You do have a point.
Okay, move on.
But that's what I'm saying. Even though we're saying 50-50, it's not. Reality tells a different story. With home maintenance, fixing stuff, changing light bulbs,
getting a spider, getting the
Now, I'll do everything else. I don't do bugs. It's just the texture. It just horrifies me. But I will change a tire. I will change some oil. I will check to make sure that the house is good. Like I said earlier, I have changed a toilet and my husband watched. I have on my birthday, the water heater went out. I'm the one that went and bought it. I'm the one that installed it. So this is for YouTube.
and you look at home decorating, and it goes back to my point. Men don't really care about that stuff.
That's
most
correct.
men.
That's correct.
Most men.
I'm like Shaniqua. I don't want to do that stuff.
I don't want to do it either.
I'm just saying. I mean,
hey, men can decorate, but the woman's not gonna like it, so we fall back and let you do it.
Yeah, because your whole house will be a man cave.
Now, I don't
She's
That's
even
not
think
okay.
a
lying
man.
about that.
I don't even think a
Let
man
him be a
cave
man cave.
because
Let him do it.
hey, pictures and stuff like hey, that's what I got a photo album for.
that
Really?
I got married and I brought the house, and for years it was like, you can have the whole house. This room is mine. Just let me have this one little room. Of course, it was purple. I just want to go in here and have some peace. I go in there. 15, 20 minutes later, what you doing? Coming in and sitting. Let's talk. I'm like, God damn. You got the whole damn house.
But you're not in the whole house. You're just in that room. So you need to be out.
I just basically I want to say it's off limits to you. I don't want to discuss stuff. When I come out, I want to be engaged.
That's radioactive right there. That's radioactive. I ain't touching that one, but I got your point. Yard maintenance. Now, personally, my allergies prohibit me from cutting the grass and stuff like that. Yeah, but I have a yard service out there in a heartbeat. But ain't too many women that want to go out there and sweat like that. Some will. Some like that stuff. But they'll go out to garden, but they ain't going out to cut the damn grass.
I remember I bought my husband bought me for Christmas a grill, and that's because I wanted that. And then I bought him a lawnmower because I got tired of him going all the way to his mother's house to get the lawnmower and then cutting the grass. And then when I bought the lawnmower, he purposely destroyed it just so he wouldn't have to use it. And then he went ahead and paid the man across the street to do it.
Wow.
Hey, it had to be done. It had to be done. But are there any questions on this one?
Going to his mama's house was a break from you, and he get to see his mom and get a home cooked meal.
No, that's the thing. Mama didn't cook, so I did all the cooking. Thank you very much.
Well, prove it.
No, we kind of did it equally. Yeah, because he liked to do a lot of the women's stuff. So
prove it. Where you at?
So
what time is dinner?
The next slide is the four basic kind of gender stereotype personality traits. We expect women to be docile and men to be assertive and self-confident. That's today. That ain't even. I don't even think that even matters anymore. Domestic behaviors. We expect the women to take care of the kids. We expect men to go make the money, and the man handles the money. Most men can do that, but there are quite a few men that like to spend a little bit more than they save and buy bullshit. But
exactly.
you gotta let the best person handle the money. Occupations. We're not gonna go into that. You heard
your nephew?
Yeah, a woman can do 90% of stuff that a man can do as far as working. 10% stuff that they can do, but they ain't gonna be trying to do. Because you don't see too many women being infantry soldiers. You ain't gonna see too many women being, heavy construction workers.
Yeah.
Not to say there aren't women in construction.
I used to work in construction. I used to be a foreman, so I disagree on that one.
Yeah. Notice what you said. Notice position. Foreman.
Well, no, I used to be a foreman, but I also went out there and I dug in the trenches with the rest of them too. Well, you know me, your sister does all kinds of stuff you would have thought.
I know.
Yeah.
And physical appearance.
Like you are.
We expect men want women who are fit, feminine, and friendly and cooperative. Sometimes, you ain't gonna get all four. So you pick on the three that you like the best, and hopefully you get two of them.
Wow.
But
really?
But women want guys who are in shape. And round is a shape, but that's not a shape they want their guys in.
True that.
And
like a thick man. I don't know what you're talking about. I like a thick, tall man. What are you talking about?
I was about to go there. But
if your titty's bigger than mine, I can't deal with you. So you still
I
got
know.
that.
It could be a dude 5'3", got everything you need except for the height, and y'all be like,
Yeah,
I don't want that dude. I don't want that dude.
It's hard to feel
yeah.
protected with somebody and you're taller
But you
than
know
they
what?
are.
I think the dude is confident and he not real skinny and I have to fight for him. I think it'd be okay if they still shorter if he can hold his own. Because there's some short 5'3s that could clear room.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm
Miss
already
Brackett, where
5'5".
are
I
you?
can't deal with nobody 2 inches shorter than me. I'm sorry.
And if they
Yeah,
2
those
inches
little
shorter than
guys
me,
have
then they're
to-
considered a midget. I can't do that.
So,
Miss Brackett, where are you? Where are you
that's
located? Goodness.
hey, I'm just saying those are gender stereotypes that we deal with. And then hyper behaviors. This has become a real big thing because you have the LGBTQ community. This is you have guys that are hyper feminine, and you have ladies that are hyper masculine. Because have you ever seen a stud dressed like a fine, refined gentleman?
Yes.
I haven't seen that. They usually wearing A shirts and
I've actually
wear A
seen
shirts
that.
and jeans.
I've actually seen that.
Mhm.
What is Niecy Nash?
That's exactly who I was thinking about. Niecy Nash's partner.
Nash's wife.
Mm-hmm.
She dressed like a refined man.
And yes.
She's an exception.
I mean, there's a few more, but that's just one in particular.
That's the one that I thought of.
Most of them look like Lady of Rage.
Yeah, you're right. You are so right with that. But I think nowadays they're actually are what's the word I'm looking for? Defining their look of their role.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of studs, as you may say, who actually are dressing even professionally and every day as a man, and not just overall, shirt and pants. You know what I mean? They've actually dressed like a man. They cut their hair, they do everything just like a man. So there are people out there. Before there weren't, but now there are.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking testosterone pills.
So, Tawana, does that constitute them being a lesbian?
I don't know how to describe them. I'm just showing you or telling you an example of how they are looking now.
Technically,
And in order to define their role.
No, okay.
Like who is the more masculine in the relationship?
With a man, if
you
they
could
gonna
visually see it.
But I'm saying though, both in those communities,